What's happening, YouTube? I figured, randomly decided, pre-workout time actually, randomly decided to update you guys. Feel like it's been a little while, so here it is. Just about to get, this is my third bottle of water today, which will have me at 4 liters total for today. Is that right? No, 4.5 liters of water total today. In this bad boy right here, I have some branched chain amino acids, banana flavor, the new Victory Labs Mist it's called, with some H&B added to that, some electrolytes, B vitamins, and some glutamine. And I've also got 3 scoops of, I don't want to sound like I'm advertising right now, but I have 1 scoop of Victory Labs Mist BCAA product, and I have 3 scoops of Victory Labs pre-workout, which is called Xanavar, which isn't really a pre-workout. It's a fat burner, thermogenic, caffeine-based product with L-carnitine and things of that nature. But they do have a new pre-workout product coming out like in a week or so, which is awesome. For now, I'm using the Xanavar as the pre-workout. 440 milligrams of caffeine, around about that. About 144 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, so times 3, whatever that number is. That's how much caffeine I'm going for right now in this bad boy right here. Also had 1 gram of HMB, 1 gram of agmatine sulfate, 5 grams of creatine, 6 grams of citrulline malate, about 4 or 5 grams of beta-alanine, and that's about it. That is about it. So I've got, what do I have? Banana flavored branched chains and mango coconut flavor for the Xanavar. So pretty tropical blend right here, which is pretty cool. Anyways, let's not go on about what's in this drink any further. Let's talk about how prep's going. And I might drink this while I do that because I do need to get in my training ASAP. Today is actually a refeed day. And a refeed day for me is 375 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat, and of course 205 grams of protein, which has been the steady trend in terms of protein intake for the entire contest prep phase that I've done so far. And I have to say that typically I would have a higher protein intake than I currently do, but at the same time my weight's dropping, or has been dropping, so then the amount of protein that I'm taking in is actually a higher ratio or a higher percentage of total calories, and higher percentage in terms of my current weight. So, typically you'd say that as you get leaner you'd want to increase your protein intake. But at the same time, as you get leaner and as you drop body weight, if your protein intake is still sufficient or it's still high enough, at 2 grams per kilo of body weight when you were 100 kilos and you're now 88 kilos or 89 kilos and you're still having 2 times body weight of 100 kilos, you're now having 2.2 maybe grams of protein per body weight, if you know what I mean. So, there's no real need to change it too much. But protein is great for satiety. Sometimes I go over my protein number, not often, but sometimes I'll do like 210, 215, sometimes 220 grams of protein, and if I do, I'll just cut my carbs back as a result of that, or I'll cut my fat back. Today and yesterday are 2 refeed days in a row, and it's kind of in a way going to assess how my physique changes and looking towards peak week, which is in 3 weeks from now. So 4 weeks until my first show, which is pretty exciting. Very exciting, actually. It has been, oh wow, it has been 5 years since my last time I stepped on stage, on the INBA stage, which will become the PNBA stage when I qualify and then compete in Las Vegas, which is pretty cool in November. But right now it's 2 refeed days. My normal macros are 205 grams of protein, 260 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of fat. Now, today and yesterday are higher days, and I have to say, like, my hunger is way worse today and yesterday than it has been this entire week. And to be honest, it's actually my wife's 30th birthday tomorrow, and we are going out for dinner. I planned it. I chose the place to eat. It's going to be 20 of us eating there, so we have a set menu, and it includes grilled fish or lean steak, or, you know, ribeye steak, or grilled chicken. So it's very easy to guesstimate the macros of this meal. There will be birthday cake as well, which is custom made and includes Nutella. Contest prep is hard, yo. And there's entrees and there's alcohol and there's all that other fun stuff that comes into play with your 30th birthday, right? But I will not be eating out of a container. So I was telling a client yesterday how years ago I would celebrate birthdays. Like, it's one instance I went to a Mexican restaurant, and this particular Mexican restaurant, they love to add their oil and their fats and everything else. Like, you know, if you're guessing the macros at this place, probably getting it wrong. But I went there with a container of fish and broccoli and maybe some green beans, bit of herbs, bit of lemon juice, little container, while everyone else, my family, ate their meals, loved their meals, probably wasted their meals too, which made me really angry at the time, because, you know, you become very food focused in a contest prep phase. All you think about is food. Like, I mean, I was at the beach side the other day, and I put this on my Snapchat actually. 2 girls came and sat next to me, and they pulled out sandwiches, and I was just looking at the sandwiches like, first of all, I'm like, wow, these girls are actually prepared. And then I was like, I want to see what's on these sandwiches. And it was like, because I was like, I wonder if they're actually meal prep because they're into the gym and stuff like that. So they had chicken and lettuce and mayonnaise or whatever else, and you know, these 2 sandwiches. And I'm just looking at the sandwiches like, I could definitely eat that. Like, wow. And I was basically admiring a freaking sandwich. 4 sandwiches, they had 2 each, and I was just like, ah. All I have is a coffee. I had a long black. I had to went to the beach side, do some office work at a coffee club just to get out, get some air, get my steps in as well. But I'm sitting there freaking admiring these sandwiches, and there's 2 pretty girls next to me. Yeah, I'm married, but, you know, I can say that. There was these 2 girls that came up to me, sat next to me, or close to me. I have zero interest in how they looked. I just wanted to eat their sandwiches. That's when you know you're in a contest prep phase. Let me tell you that for real. So anyways, this is delicious. This is absolutely delicious. I'm not one to take amino acids. I've taken branched chains years ago. I'm not really someone who promotes them really. I like to promote a diet that's sufficient in protein content. You know, so then you don't really need to take BCAAs unless you're an endurance athlete, unless you're training fasted and you want to, or you have big gaps between meals and you just want to spike muscle protein synthesis. You know, I tend to just structure meals so I don't need BCAAs, but since I have them now, I'm like, you know, why not use them? And they really help me to just drink more water and also reduce hunger, because I'm drinking flavored water essentially with nutrients added, which is great. But back on track. These refeeds killing me. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow. I'm going to guesstimate that meal. I'm going to eat less earlier in the day. Just focus on Probably have some branched chains in the morning, but focus on, and also get my training in. Focus on protein and fiber, but also track ahead the food or the meals that I'm most likely going to eat at the restaurant. I did actually consider tracking in one Corona, one beer, and I'm not opposed to that by any means. Will it help me in my contest prep phase? Probably not. Will it get me drunk? I really don't think so. I don't think one beer is going to get me drunk. So therefore, does it have any merit? Does it have any, is it actually going to be pleasurable or beneficial in any way for me to have one beer? Probably not. I think that if I'm going to have a beer, I'm probably going to have a couple. I'm going to get a little bit tipsy, happy, drunk, whatever, and it's going to be a celebration. Given that I'm not doing that, I don't think I'm going to have a beer. So we'll see how we go. Chances are I'll just probably have some Pepsi Max, put a lime in there, life will be good. If I do decide to have a beer, obviously that will be tracked as well. And like I said, I'm not really opposed to it, but it doesn't really benefit me in any way. So tomorrow will be guesstimated. This weekend will be 3 weeks out. 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, something like that. Anyways, hunger is ridiculous right now, so I wanted to like make a real talk video and let you guys know like contest prep is freaking killing me right now. And I still have 10 weeks to go until I'm on stage in Las Vegas, which is the main focus. Let's be real, it's the main focus. But nobody wants to go on stage looking their worst or not looking great. Right now, as I am, my physique is the best it's ever looked. I might throw a photo up right here to show you guys how I look, or you can look at my Instagram at BigED, and you can check out my photos there. Things are looking pretty well. Like I'm actually really happy with how I look, but at the same time, there's room to improve. And when I feel like crap, like I did today and yesterday and last night, I'm like, yes, this is exciting. Well, to be honest, I'm just like, oh man, I want to eat everything. Like, just let me eat a whole jar of Nutella. Let me just chuck a whole jar of Nutella in a whole tub of ice cream and put in 4 toasted Pop-Tarts and mix it all up and just admire it for a minute and then eat it. That's how my brain is thinking. But at the same time, I'm self-aware enough to be like, okay, this is how I feel. So tomorrow or next week, I'm going to wake up leaner as a result of these feelings, as a result of my body saying, or, encouraging me to make decisions that are going to keep it comfortable. And contest prep is not comfortable by any means, not at all. So being able to understand that is important. Like, today it's 5 p.m. and I have 20 grams of carbs left over for today. Like, yeah, I had quite a lot of calories already today, and I haven't trained yet. And that's because I had to have enough calories to sustain energy towards life, other things that are important in life, like working with clients. And I didn't want to be drained working with clients just because I'm trying to save calories to enjoy, some ice cream tonight, or, fuel my workout more sufficiently. So I really thought I was going to struggle this afternoon and actually, struggle to stick to my macros and not go over them today. But increasing my water and having these flavors at the same time really helps. I want to tell you guys about last night though. Yesterday, hunger was ridiculous, as I've mentioned 10,000 times now, but I stuck to the plan. However, I had 415 milligrams or whatever it is of caffeine in the morning because I had this blend, and then I trained. Then I had a post-workout meal, which was delicious, and then I got a massage. At this point, my actual hydration or fluid intake wasn't very high, but my caffeine intake was quite high. And then I had to do some office work, so I had 2 Nespresso pods, so a double shot of coffee. Enjoyed that, did some work, had another meal, etc., etc. Then a couple hours later, had some more coffee, and I had a few Pepsi Maxes in between. I was really busy, so I wasn't thinking about, you know, drinking water. It wasn't a personal training day or coaching day. It was an office day basically. And then at nighttime, I thought, coffee would be very nice right now. I should probably have decaf, but I didn't. And I had 2 shots then as well. So I had a ton of caffeine yesterday and not much H2O. And the result of that was I felt really dizzy, tired, didn't want to walk my dog. I did 1,000 steps yesterday, whereas 10,000 would be a typical goal or average. I just felt really bad. I was like, wow, this refeed day is killing me. It's hurting me. It's not really helping me. But I had an amazing training session in the morning. Okay, but anyways, ended up waking up. I went to bed at around 10 p.m. Woke up at 1 a.m. Worst headache ever. Just a sharp headache. And I couldn't figure it out. So I was just trying to ignore it. And couldn't. So I woke up, had a Panadol. Just to try to, you know, reduce the pain. I thought about what I had done yesterday and why I might have a headache, and then I realized had a ton of caffeine, didn't have much water, and I had a massage, which also tends to make you dehydrated to a degree. So I think I had a headache as a result of dehydration, basically. So I had some Gatorade powder, and I had some Panadol, and I just tried to sit there for a bit. It wasn't really helping. So then I was like, okay, so maybe I'll have some food that might help. Looked in the cupboard, and I thought sugar might help, right? So even though I had sugar in the form of Gatorade powder, but anyways, decided to have some Nutella. And then I looked in the cupboard and there was some pikelets, like these little mini pancake things. Ran out of jam though, so I put 2 of those in the toaster at 1 a.m. Put some Nutella on those and ate those. And then I was like, so this is all carbs. Maybe I should have some fats. And there are some fats in Nutella too, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna have some peanut butter. So I had some cinnamon swirl, peanut butter company peanut butter. And that was delicious. That was really good. Like, this is enjoyable stuff. Headache was still there though. So obviously that wasn't working. So I just had to, drink more water actually, and just sit up in bed looking at Instagram. And after a while, I started to get sleepy, fell asleep, and everything was all good. So I'm really putting it down to dehydration. The point of the story right here is, you know, get your water in, basically. But I had to actually wake up this morning, or actually before I went to sleep last night, or at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it was, I had to track all that stuff that I had. I had to track the pikelets, I had to track the Nutella, I had to track the peanut butter. Oh, man, I really wanted to have a Pop-Tart too, but I didn't go that far. And all of that had to get tracked into today's macros, even though I ate them at 2 a.m. and then I went to sleep. And I could have easily just said, it didn't happen. I'm sick, so I just needed to have calories. But I didn't. Sticking to my goals. So I tracked them into today. And today so far I've had to eat less calories as a result of that. And I don't think any of those calories that I had at that point in time has really helped me today in terms of energy or anything like that, because, like I said, I feel pretty bad. And that is just the real talk joys of contest prep. And some of the things you might have to go through. So, and it's definitely not for everyone. I had a client today, 1 week out from comp, an emotional mess right now. Just hungry, thinks she doesn't look good enough. 2 weeks ago thought she looked amazing. Currently looks the best she's ever looked in her life. But, you know, just emotional stress is elevated towards the end when pressure, I guess, is higher. And stress goes up as well. So contest prep, you know, it's not for everybody, but it is, it's definitely a journey. It's definitely a challenge. So tomorrow morning, I have a Skype call with my coach. We're going to run through some posing practice because my posing, it sucks. Like, I can definitely improve it. He wants me to improve my anterior tilt, and which will help my legs to come out more, which I have taken some photos these past few days, and he's absolutely right. So we're going to work on that, which is good. So I'm sticking to my macros today, stuck to them yesterday. Want to make sure that I look good tomorrow morning when we do that Skype chat. And it gives us a really good, clear indication of what to do in terms of peak week. Because, you know, you can really screw up peak week. Trust me, I've done it before. So, that's an update, guys. I'm going to just have my pre-workout. I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to have another one of these during training. That's my goal. And today, I have front squats, rack chins or pull-ups, and some shoulder work and some bicep work as well. So training's a little bit different, right? To give you guys an idea, I'm going to let you know exactly what I'm doing today. So it's week number 3 of my training program, and I am doing 5 sets of front squats, 5 sets of 10, and that is going straight into, the program says feet elevated inverted row with a TRX. I don't have that, so I'm going to do pull-ups or I'm going to do rack chins, one of the two. And that's going to be, 3 of those sets are going to be to failure, 3 of the 5 sets. So it goes front squat straight to that, 5 rounds of that. And then I'm going to move on to some one-arm dumbbell overhead press. Superset straight into some banded lat pull down, straight into some dumbbell lateral raises, straight into some banded face pulls. So you'll see the trend is a focus on quads with the front squats, and then a secondary focus on back and shoulders today. Right now my training program is 5 days per week. Tomorrow's focus is heavy bench press, which I'm actually enjoying. It's the only heavy thing I have in my training program right now. Everything else is RPE based, but tomorrow we're hitting up some sets of 3 and 2 at 90% of my assumed 1 rep max on bench press. So, and then we're going to do some biceps, some forearms, and some triceps. So tomorrow's an easy day, to be honest, like, because I love bench press, and then, you know, who doesn't like to train arms? I mean, I don't really train arms, which is why they're not looking as good as they really could, but it is what it is. It ain't the growing season. I'm just here to get shredded, look my best, win my trophy, hopefully. We'll see how we go. And then progress on into the gaining phase. So that's my training for today. And energy's been all over the place today, as I've mentioned. My step count right now, I'm at 4,000 steps today so far. And I wasn't sure if I'd have the energy to train today, or the desire to train today, but it's really coming. It's really hitting me right now. Obviously, I can attribute this water and these nutrients, pre-workout nutrients, to improve my mindset, my focus, my energy, and everything else. But anyways, this video has gone on for way too long now. My camera actually shut off because it just doesn't like me to record long videos, I guess. That's an update for you guys on my contest prep. I also did a seminar on the weekend, a contest prep workshop actually, which was really cool. It was the first time I ever did a talk, which is great because I really want to get involved in that, and I really want to get, you know, I say out of my comfort zone in regards to that kind of stuff, which is really exciting. And I spoke about nutritional consistency during contest prep and how moving from a flexible nutrition or flexible dieting approach into a more fixed approach or rigid approach might be the best in terms of reducing inaccuracies with food, so improving your overall consistency and accuracy, potentially reducing food focus at the same time, and just making it very easy to make adjustments and then note those adjustments due to less fluid fluctuations and things of that nature. And then I also spoke about mindset and things you can do to improve your mindset around contest prep, thinking about process-based goals rather than outcome-based goals. You know, thinking about motivation, thinking about your environment and setting yourself up for success, and it was quite informative, and you know, I really got some really good feedback from that, so that was awesome. Hoping to do that again in time to come. But that's a wrap. We are almost there. We are almost there. When I look back at my photos of how I looked before, I really appreciate how I look right now. And in most cases, 100% for sure, in 3 months from now, let's say 6 months from now, even 4 months from now, I'll look back at how I look today and think, wow, I looked freaking awesome. But right now, in the present moment, I'm like, I can definitely improve. There's still room to improve. And that's just how it is. That's how everybody is. I just, you know, reviewed a client's check-in, and she said to me, I looked back at my photos at the end of my cut, and wow, I looked amazing. Whereas in that moment, I thought I looked terrible. That is the general expectation, or just the general, you know, flow of how people are, how we are. But to be aware enough to realize, you know, the results of your efforts right now in this present moment, and say, yes, I look the best I've ever looked, and there's still room to grow or to get leaner or whatever, but I appreciate how I look right now, is something that if you're able to do that, then you're in a really good place mentally, in my opinion. As long as it doesn't make you lazy or satisfied or hold back on further potential, then I think it's a really good thing. So I'm able to do that right now, which is awesome. And I'm also able to have life balance to a degree. To a degree, right? Because, you know, there's a few things in life that aren't really happening right now. So, you know, I don't have the complete balance that I want. Strength isn't going up. Training quality isn't improving. I'm not making any lean gains. My libido is 0. So there are some things in life that aren't really balanced right now. But, you know, I'm enjoying the process. Everything is as good as it can be. I'm injury free. I'm getting leaner. I'm retaining my lean body mass because my weight is not dropping very fast at all, but I'm definitely getting sharper. And I'm also retaining relationships, working hard still, and keeping the goal in the grand scheme of things. So that's it, guys. That's my check-in. That's my update for you guys. My weight today is a little bit heavier than it was yesterday, and I would say that's because I had a high carb day yesterday, I had a high carb refeed day yesterday, and I ate additional food at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever. So I'm pretty sure my weight will normalize in the morning, but I'm at around 88.7 kilos thereabouts. So, you know, we'll see how we go. Still have 10 weeks or so before I'm in Las Vegas. And if I can get down to 86 kilos or so, I think I'm going to be quite shredded. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how things play out. Might even get to that weight, you know, in 4 weeks from now. There's a few. I'm doing the Queensland titles, so the state titles. Doing the Okay, so my camera definitely hates me right now. It just told me that it's too hot. So, anyways, I'm doing the Queensland titles, which is a state show. I'm doing nationals like 2 weeks later, I think, and I'm doing a Brisbane Vegas show. It's called. So Brisbane, but it's like the road to Las Vegas type thing. So doing that one, and then I'm doing Las Vegas, and in between Queensland titles and nationals, I'm going to 2 weddings, awesome, and then in between, yeah, so that's about it, and then I'll be off to America. So I'm really excited to have to try to hit my macros whilst also having a social life and appreciating everyone else. But happy birthday to my wife for tomorrow, which is in like 10 hours or less from now, and 5 hours from now. Time to go train. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. It's pretty freaking random update, but there are some gems in there. Hopefully you learned something. If you are interested in contest prep and you want to know what the feels are like, now you know. That's my bicep right there. I'm not going to show you how shredded I am because you can't really tell, and I don't really care because you will see soon enough. Alright guys, speak to you soon.